All right, it's Monday. It's 1 o'clock. Let's get going. So excited to chat with everybody. We have an absolutely exciting week coming up this week. The numbers have been going crazy. I'm going to show them to you in a minute. They continue on this trend of this upward crazy trend. And I'm telling you, it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going. So if you're not caught up in that draft, let's get you caught up in that draft. Because I'm telling you, I'm seeing people reach personal bests. I'm seeing people do things they hadn't done before. And that's just what happens in times of momentum. That's what happens when you just get caught up in the draft. And then we got family reunion coming up just in a couple of weeks. That event is going to be epic. It's going to absolutely be epic. Holly and I can't wait to see you there. I can't wait for you to be inspired there. I can't wait for you to get new thoughts there. I say that all the time about family reunion and national convention, about how much I love them after 20 years of going to them. I love them because I come out a different person. I come out a better version of me. That's what I want for you too. And I know it. I know it'll do it for you. And I'm just so excited to see everybody there. So excited to see what comes out of it. We got so many opportunities in front of us, guys. We are getting ready to start popping off partners like crazy. Let's get started with the numbers from the week. I want you to see the numbers from the week. All right, look at all the submit over 1,000. Look at all of that submit over 1,000 for the week. Look at it. You're going to start with Mike Guerra at $1,003.68. You're going to then we go to Cherie Andre, $1,020.56. Kendra Rickert, $1,181.28. Kiane, they call it K Beggs, $1,211.16. Joseph Albarano, $1,387.92. Cody Poirier, $1,750.92. Isabella Gallant, $1,823.88. Dave Fleming, $1,839.12. Misha Marsh, $2,328.24. Diana Castile, $2,385.74. John Booter, $2,400. Rachel Midthun, $2,483.72. Noel Wilson, $2,515.20. Joshua Mills, $2,896.08. Danny Hoyt, $2,935.80. Alejandro Samanejo, $2,940.84. Angela Worley, $3,140.52. I know Angela's going to do some big stuff with us. She's brand new. She lives in Asheville where I live, but she drove all the way to Atlanta when I flew down to Atlanta to do that meeting with Mike Guerra's people just so that she could be around the team. I'm telling you, that's the kind of stuff that produces massive results. Speaking of, Chrissy Arn continues to tear it up on Mike Guerra's team, $3,527.04. That team, Mike Guerra, is on the move. I'm telling you, I know which ones of these new agents on here that are producing are part of his team and they're all part of Greco's team. That team continues to move. Seth and Adina Decker, $4,800. Nick Greco, $5,024.76. Gustavo and Mercedes Tehran, $6,426.48. Jeremico Edwards, $8,604.24. Mimi Ramiro, $8,660.52. Evan Patzer, $12,231.09. Lenoris Washington, one of our directs here at the base shop, that's a fairly new guy, continues to tear it up. $12,355.80. Look at Brandon Beal coming in number 3 with $12,562.16 over 18 applications. Way to go, brother. That is awesome. I came in second last week with $15,391.32, and edging me out for that number 1 spot, my buddy, Mr. Hutchison, Mark Hutchison, $16,431.64. Way to go, everybody. That leaderboard continues to expand. We're going to have to go to 2 pages here soon. I'm telling you, that's what's going on. All right, let's look at month-to-date issue paid. Brandon and Ashley Beal coming in month-to-date, a little over 4,400. Nick Greco, and keep in mind, this is just through the reporting that came out last Thursday, so this is just the first few days of the month here. Nick Greco, over 4,600 in issue paid. Jason Taylor, over 5,600. Joshua Mills, over 5,800. Chrissy Arn, over 5,900. Jeremy Edwards, $6,405.87. Gustavo and Mercedes Tehran, $7,164.45. I'm telling you, they got something really cool that they've been working on We'll share it with the team here in just a minute. It's helping them be super efficient out there in the field. Number 3, month to date, Evan Patzer, $7,390.14. And month to date, number 2, Mr. Mark Hutchison, issue paid $15,698.93 through the first few days. And number 1, new agent Kim Miller under Nick Greco, part of Danny Hoyt's team, $86,595.12. And in case you're wondering what that is, that was a massive annuity. That was her first sale, massive annuity. That's the kind of stuff that's happening out there. I'm telling you, happening all over. All right, let's go to our next leaderboard. Weekly paychecks. Hey, no wonder that the top 2 in issue paid are the top 2 on the weekly paychecks leaderboard. Number 5 last week, Jonathan Henderson, over $5,000 deposited in his account. Nick Greco coming in number 4, over $9,400 deposited. This is not like this is not sales. This is money that went right into their bank account from the ARC. It's crazy. Danny Hoyt, $9,556.25 deposited last week. Mark Hutchison, over $20,315.51. And number 1 for the week last week, Kim Miller, $40,018.07 deposited into her account last week. Now, here's what a low performer do. They say, well, that's just lucky. That's just lucky. That's what low performers, they love that word. They throw that word around all the time. Like anybody that does anything big, it's just lucky. Let me tell you something. Are there fortunate breaks? Yeah. Are there unfortunate breaks? Yeah. And guess what? We all get about the same. But I'm telling you, if you're not asking for annuities in every single, and I mean every single client interaction, you're not going to find the big ones. Yeah, I can't tell you how many small annuities you write on the way to writing big annuities. They're out there. It's just, you just got to ask every single time. Hey, how's your retirement going? How's your safe money going? I noticed, so you said you changed jobs. Now, your old job, you have a 401k sitting out there still that's just out there at market risk. It's just simple stuff. I'm telling you, but get in the habit every time, because there are massive annuities out there and I want you to get them. All right, let's go to our next leaderboard. Family reunion. I'm telling you, if you've not signed up, please sign up. Come to this event. It's going to be impactful. I'm telling you, every single event I go to, every single one of these I go to, I come out a different person. If you want to grow as a person, Brian Tracy's going to light it up on how to do that, how to win big financially with the Alliance. If you want to grow in your leadership ability, Paul Roberts, other top leaders will be speaking and pouring their heart out and available. The crazy thing is this includes all the meals. So you'll be in the meal area around all the top leaders and all you gotta do is just pull up a chair. They may have already like saved the seats at their table for some of their people that they're spending dinner with, but you can just set up shop around and listen. I mean, this is the most transparent organization you've ever been a part of. I agree 100%. If you miss family reunion, Diana Castile, you're penalizing yourself. I would say you're probably penalizing yourself $10,000, at least $10,000, but you'll penalize yourself by not going. So unless you want to penalize yourself, I would go, just get there. I'm telling you, find me on Sunday. If you can find me on Sunday and tell me, hey, this has not been worth my while, I'll give you cash back on the spot. That's how much I believe in it, because I know it's going to change you just like it's going to change me, and we're going to come out better. I'm telling you, I can't wait for this event. We will have a night owl on Friday for people in the base shop. So if you're out there, you want to join us on Friday, we'll set details out, or text me or text Holly or text one of the guys here at the base shop. We would love to spend some time with you on Friday. All right, I think that's all my numbers, right? Here's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about trust. Trust is a word that's thrown around a lot, right? But it's one of those things that is, if we truly understood how valuable trust is, we would spend our lives paranoid about ever losing trust. I mean, we'd spend our life paranoid about it if we truly understood the value of trust. Let me show you how it works. Let me draw something and show you how it works here. So here's how it works. This is you. This is your growing up line. Whether that's, me, Andy, folks in between us that are growing. Here's your team, the people you're hiring, getting started. Out here you got clients, right? Because we sell, we recruit, we build. It's the one thing we do is sell, recruit, and build. So if you want opportunity and income to flow to you, you need trust. Because any area that trust is missing, you got a kink in it. You got a kink in the hose. It's not gonna, the money and the opportunity is not gonna flow to you. Anywhere that you got a kink, anywhere that you're missing the components of trust, it's gonna slow down the income, it's gonna slow down the opportunity, it's gonna slow down the fulfillment. I promise you, all those things will happen. But when you have high levels of trust, it's wide open, and financial opportunities, leadership opportunities, all of that stuff will flow to you in greater quantities. No different than in a marriage. Show me a marriage that's a winning marriage. It's a marriage with high levels of trust. Show me a couple that's happy and fulfilled, not perfect, but happy and fulfilled. They got high levels of trust. Show me a couple where that's not the case. The trust is missing. Trust creates magic. And you say, well, I don't believe in magic, Stephen. I hear you. I'm using it for purpose of illustration because it's pretty magical what it does. I mean, think about it. We talk about marriage. Two people, is they happy with each other for 40, 50 years? That's pretty magical. The trust creates crazy things like that. To see people go to the income levels they go to as quickly as they do here, that's pretty magical. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, every time I get asked to tell my story, I think about how quick we went from just broke as, I mean, all get out to my third year here making over 1.2 million. That's pretty crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Trust makes crazy things happen. Trust creates things that look miraculous. I'm telling you, when you got trust, here's what you got. You got speed. And when you've got speed, you can make things happen faster. And when you make things happen fast, it looks like a miracle. It looks amazing, it looks magical. It's so fast. How did that happen? Because trust. Because one of the reasons Nick Greco's team has taken off like crazy. The people he's hiring have a high level of trust in him. And you say, well, that's not fair. He put in the time to build those levels of trust. Does that make sense? So that's what I want to talk to you today. I want to talk to you about the three components that build trust and the three components that will help you keep trust. So the three components that'll help you build it and the three components that'll help you keep it. Because if you got it, you got to keep it. Trust is not a one-time, got it, don't have to worry about it anymore. That's not how trust works. Trust is equally hard to keep as it is to create. But here's the beautiful thing. It's very simple to create. It's not easy, but it is simple to create trust. A lot of hard work, but it is simple. So let's talk about the three components that make up trust. Number one component is competence. You can't trust an incompetent person. And we all know that. You've had that feeling before where you're like, I like this person, but God, they can't seem to find their butt with both hands in a mirror. Just incompetent. You can't trust someone that's incompetent. If you think about a doctor, would you trust him to operate on you, to put you under anesthesia and to cut your body open unless he's highly competent? Does that make sense? Competence is huge with trust. And maybe as a new agent, you made mistakes before. You screwed up paperwork and then you couldn't get the client to reapply. Why? Because the trust was missing. And you say, well, I was new. I know, hey, we all make a lot of mistakes. You don't want to know my body count. You don't want to know the body count of mistakes I've made on the way in the last 20 years trying to get good at this thing. But competence is huge in trust. It's the first component. And maybe you grew up in a home where your parents were a disaster. And, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever, just a disaster. The kids that grow up in those homes have issues trusting later because they didn't have that trust in a parent that should have been there. And the parents could have been lovely. You could have been nice people, but not competent. When we lack competence, we won't be able to build trust. So what does competence look like? Be clear about what I'm saying next. Competence is not perfection. You and I are not capable of perfection as it is. Competence is not perfection. Competent people can make mistakes, and still keep trust. What you're looking at in competence is the overall ledger. The overall ledger. That's what you're looking to for competence. What's the ledger of a person's life look like? If it's 80% screw ups and 20% dawn rights, that's not a very competent person. Competence looks like I get it right more than I get it wrong. Not perfect. Be clear, not perfect. Because sometimes we talk about competence, we take it too far, and then we're like, I'll never be. I'm with you. I'm with you. I got a whole list of stuff I screwed up this weekend. So it's not perfection. Competence is looking at the ledger and going, how many things did I get right? And am I making progress? See, competent people make progress. When someone makes the same mistakes over and over, you're just like, oh God, can we stop learning the hard way? Can we just learn it? You know what I'm saying? Make a change, make a change. That's not competent. Competent is, okay, crap. So that got messed up. What am I going to do different next time? It's one of the ways I teach sales training. I teach journaling and sales training. Journal every appointment, the good ones and the bad ones. Journal every appointment. How did it go? If it went great, what did I think I did that worked? If it went bad, what do I think I messed up? And what will I do different? See, that's becoming competent. Not perfection, but you're becoming competent. Competency, being competent has everything to do with pattern. You think about finances. When people are constantly needing bailed out, constantly getting jammed up, they're lacking competence in how they manage their money. Now, don't get me wrong. In those situations, people go, well, you don't understand. If I had more money, no. Let me tell you something. If you can't manage a little, you won't be able to manage a lot. Otherwise, there'd be no broke professional athletes. Otherwise, there'd be no broke lottery winners. If it was just about quantity, it's about competence. And so it's all areas of life. All areas of life. I'm looking at how competent am I as a husband? How competent am I? How competent? You can't say competent too many times. How competent am I as a father? How competent am I as a business person? As a mentor? How competent am I in those areas? What does it take to get competence? You need new information. You're currently performing the best possible way you can with the information you've come to accept. So we either need to accept information that we haven't been willing to accept thus far, or get new information. And you say, I've accepted all the information I've been given thus far. Let me ask you one question. Did you ask every single person you met with last week about where their safe money was, looking for annuities? Well, no, but okay, so they haven't accepted that. Does that make sense? Is information you know that you need to accept, but you haven't accepted it yet? Did you add to your business last week? Did you seek out sharp people last week and add them to your business? Not just running an ad, not just running a Craigslist ad. I'm talking about seeking out competent, sharp people that would probably never answer an ad. Did you do that last week? Okay, if not, then that's that you're not accepting that information yet. Does that make sense? And we all have areas of our life where we're fighting information that we need to accept. But that's the key to becoming competent, is accepting new information, seeking new information. That's how you become competent. Another key piece on being competent is reflection. If you don't take time to reflect and think, that's what that journaling on sales appointments is so huge. That's why it's so helpful. Taking time to reflect will help you get better, because really at the end of the day, competence is about being better tomorrow at what we do than you were today. And here's the beautiful thing. What we do is very simple. All we do is sell, recruit, and build. That's all we do. All we do is sell, recruit, and build. You can become very competent at those things very quickly if you attack it aggressively. John Maxwell said this, I want to say 20 years ago, 18 years ago. One of the first things I went to with Andy, he said, you can become an expert at any subject you want if you'll just read 30 minutes a day. In that subject, you read 30 minutes a day in that subject, you'll become an expert in 3 years. I think I was sharing that with Chan. I was sharing that with someone. That you can learn anything you want to learn. You want to be great at you can learn anything you want to learn. How do we know that? Because there's people that fly rockets into the sky. They didn't arrive on Earth as astronauts. They learned how to do it. They learned the things. Jan and I were playing golf yesterday, and we were playing near the airport, and you watch a plane fly. It's like, God, it's crazy that one person is flying that thing. It's like they learn to do it. They weren't born as a pilot. They learned to do it. You can become competent in anything, but you've got to get aggressive on accepting new information. The other key to becoming competent is we've got to let go of excuses. When we let ourselves off the hook, we're pushing competency further away. When we let ourselves off the hook, we're just pushing competency. We're not going to be as competent if we let ourselves off the hook or if we make excuses for the things we screw up. Again, not perfection, not beating ourselves up, just going, I can get better. I can be better tomorrow than I am today. I 100% can be better tomorrow. I just got to take in new information and accept information I haven't accepted yet. How do I know which information I haven't accepted yet? Well, let me ask you this. What should you and I do? Stuff we know we should do. That's a good question. What should I do? Because we think I should do this. That's all information we haven't accepted yet. So we've got to accept that information. All right. Number 2, to build and trust, connection. I teach this on the in-home. If you need a client to trust you, you've got to build a connection. How do you build a connection with a stranger? How do you build a connection with someone new? It's the 3 C's of connection. It's very simple. Compliment, commonality, comedy. Compliment, commonality, comedy. Compliment. I genuinely compliment you for something I'm genuinely complimenting you for. Not this sales stuff like where I was before the Alliance. They teach the sales stuff like, and what you want to do is find a picture of their grandkids and pretend to be interested in that. I'm like, I can't pretend to be interested in something I'm not. I'm not good at that. I don't have a great poker face, so I have to be genuinely interested. So genuine compliment. It can't be that salesy crap. Genuine compliment. Then a genuine commonality, something we have in common. When I'm meeting with a couple, if they're married, that's something we have in common. I love to talk about that, whether they've been married a little bit or a lot. If they have a similar background or similar background to someone I know, I like to find that out too. Same thing with recruits. I'm trying to find those commonalities out. Starting with a super sharp young man underneath Dave Fleming out in San Francisco. And I'm telling you, dude, he's so sharp that I'm on the phone. I'm going, Jesus, David, don't screw this up. And I'm 100% going through the 3 C's going, I got to build a connection here. Got to build a connection here. Got to find that compliment. Got to find that commonality. Got to find that comedy. Got to find something we can share a laugh about. Got to find something we can share a laugh about. That's how you build connection with someone you're just meeting. Compliment, commonality, comedy. I teach that all the time in sales training. All right, number 3, character. Let me come back to connection. I got to get one more thing on connection. Transparency is key on connection. I can't connect with you if I can't see you. I can't trust you if I can't see you. You say, you see me. I'm not talking about seeing your face. I'm talking about seeing you. I see people kill trust in their organization because they're not transparent. They're not transparent with their growing up line. They're not transparent to their downline. They've got this perfection complex. I have to be perfect and my life has to look like everything's together. They're the ones that always know what you're trying to coach them on. Oh, yeah, no, I'm already on that. We're going to, oh, yeah, no, absolutely. It's like, dude, with the arc, there's no hiding. We know the numbers. You're not doing it. I love you. Please listen to me. You can't help someone if you can't see them. Transparency means you're a work in progress. I'm a work in progress too. Let's be transparent. Transparency is key to connection. And you can think back to people that you just go, man, I just don't connect with that person. Transparency is typically what's lacking. You can't see them, so you can't trust them. If I can't see you, I can't trust you. But here's the other sad part of it. If I can't see you, I can't love you. I mean, that's one of the things me and Holly, we just celebrated 22 years, July 3rd. We can love each other because we can see each other. Not perfect. Believe me, not perfect. Trying to get better. But transparency, the level of transparency in a marriage, the level of love in a marriage. You got 2 people that are both trying to look like they got their stuff together and never ever make a mistake. Telling you. If I can't see you, I can't love you. If I can't see you, I can't trust you. If you can't see me, you can't love me. If you can't see me, you can't trust me. All right. And I'm going to talk about the trust keepers, and this ties in with that in the trust keepers in a second, but I don't want to run out of time here. The third thing, character. So we got competence, connection, character. You trust people of character. Let me tell you something about character. You smell character. You just smell it. You just know it. You feel it. When someone's got character, have you and I ever been fooled by that? Yeah, a time or two. I'm sure you have too. You know, you just go, oh, I didn't see that coming. But for the most part, we're right. When we feel it, we feel it. We go, that's a person of character. When I met Andy Albright, I knew, like, I didn't know this guy, but I feel like I can trust this guy. Why? Because he radiates character. Here's the thing about character. It's an inside job. Character is not an act. It's a way of moving through the world. It's not an act. Some things you can act. Like you can act more interested and it will make you more interested. Does that make sense? Eventually. You can act like annuities are everywhere. So you'll start asking and it'll start becoming. Character is not an acting thing. It's a way of moving through the world. Character is consistency. And now be clear about what I'm going to say next. Consistency is not perfection. Consistency is constant correction. And since consistency is a chief component of character, it's not being perfect. It's adjusting and correcting constantly. Why? Because you're going to think dumb things like I think. Because you're going to think bad things like I think. And you got to go, whoop, not going to think that. I'm going to think about this instead. You're going to feel pull towards stuff that you know is not right. And you got to go, nope. Correct. Does that make sense? One of the things I coach my guys here in the office on, and you can ask them, you wake them up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they'll say, what does Stephen say? Where does strength live? Strength lives in the middle. Extremes are weaknesses. Strengths live in the middle. And so to stay in the middle, it takes constant correction. That's what character is. Staying in the middle. A person of character, their word is their word. Character doesn't require a bunch of explaining. So anytime you find yourself doing a bunch of explaining, it might be that we're trying to put a little paint over a character flaw instead of just mining it and going, let me dig in deep and get rid of this character flaw. Let me fix this character flaw. What does it take to get character? Here's what it takes. Association and input. Association and input. If a man or a woman becomes isolated into themselves, their character will erode. Why? Because we need people, we need the peer pressure of high character people to keep me and you right. You say, I don't need that. I live my best life all the time. I hear you. I hear you. I'm telling you though, I need it. There's men I like to keep in my life because when I'm around them, it makes me want to be better. It makes me want to be the better version of me that I know I can get to. So what does it take to get character? Association, on purpose association. That's a whole other subject for another day. Choosing who you associate with and input. You've got to read stuff that will reinforce character. That's why my morning is pretty much the same. 15 minutes in this, 15 minutes in this, 15 minutes of thinking. Why? Because I want to keep my character together. When you look at anybody that blows up a family, blows up a business, it's typically a character fail. Typically a character fail. Yes, Jeremico, you're dead on, brother. It's what you need, man. It's what I need. There's got to be on purpose. We got to go, I want this person in my life because they have character in this area. That's why when I find someone that's been married longer than me and is good at it and they're happy and their kids are grown functioning adults, I'm like, I need some of that in my life, right? Because I don't know everything I need to know to get there. So yeah, being on purpose. All right. Now, I know we're a little bit over time here. Hang tight with me. Here's the 3 things to keep character. We talked about building it. Here's the 3 things to keep it. Number one, making sound decisions. Making sound decisions is how you keep trust. In other words, it doesn't take many bad decisions to start losing trust. And again, not talking perfection, because if you've got those first three components, you've got money in the bank with people, you've got deposits in the bank with people, and they can look the other way on a couple of dumb decisions. But if you make enough dumb decisions, think about a dumb decision or a bad decision, an unenlightened decision as a withdrawal from all that deposits you've been making. What happens when you make more withdrawals than you got deposited? Boop. Check bounces. Same deal here. It's not perfection, it's pattern. Now, Jeremico, same thing we were just talking about. Same thing here. How do you make better decisions? You need people that make good decisions in your life. You need outside counsel. You've heard me say this a million times in the years that we've been together. I'm telling you, what's the number one counselor of a broke, unhappy person? Who's their number one counselor? Themselves. Who's their number two counselor? Their spouse or someone just like them. If you want to be better, you have to get better counsel in your life. I'm constantly trying to get better counsel in my life. In the three areas of my life that I'm laser focused on, I'm constantly seeking better counsel in my life because I want to make better decisions. I don't want to make withdrawals. I'm not trying to make no withdrawals. I know it's inevitable, but God, I'm trying not to make any withdrawals. I'm trying to make as many deposits as I can. Number two, in keeping trust, admitting their mistakes. Admitting when we admit a mistake, we keep trust even if we did something dumb. Now the trust level will fall because every time we do something dumb, the trust level does fall, but we'll keep it. Where we lose it is when we don't admit it. When it's, well, see, or even worse, lie and cover up a mistake. Lie and just go, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. Bro, there was 3 people on the phone. I heard you say it. I don't want to tell you. Can't trust them. Does that make sense? So admitting mistakes. Here's the irony of admitting mistakes. It kind of goes back to transparency. And I told you these are going to be interlinked. When you admit a mistake, it makes me love you. When I admit a mistake, it makes you love me. When you pretend to be perfect, it makes me not want to be around you. When I pretend to be perfect, it makes you not want to be around me. Admitting mistakes and that transparency is massive, massive. The biggest leaders are the ones that can say, I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm trying to get better. Massive, massive for keeping trust. And number 3, on keeping trust, putting people first. And whether it's in the home with a client, putting what's best for this client. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't want to go the other way where you'd never get anybody covered because you're going to do research to the ends of the earth. But what's the best thing for this person? The best thing for this person is get a policy in place now. The best thing for this person is to move their money out of market risk. They're 64 years old. They want to retire. They don't want to keep working the rest of their life. What's the best thing for this client? What's the best thing for this agent? Now, here's where it gets tricky. Because if you're too soft, remember, strength's in the middle. If you're too soft, you're not putting people first. And here's how I say, well, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. Bull crap. The reason you and I did that, the reason you and I wimped out was we were worried about how their reaction would make us feel. So we were weak when we should have been strong. But we mask it, we paint it up pretty, don't we? Well, I didn't want to hurt their feelings. No, you didn't want your feelings hurt by how they would react or the possibility of how they would react. That's, you and I we gotta admit that when we do that. That's weak. In the middle, putting people first also isn't, I'm gonna tell them like it is. That's how I am. That's weak. That's weak too. Weak is outside. Strength's in the middle. Put people first. I love you. I need you to hear me I need you to hear me on this, Bo. I love you. I need you to hear me on this. Does that make sense? Because sometimes you say putting people first and you go, well, you gotta be not yet. Keep in mind, misplaced kindness is cruelty. The same as brash bulldoze smash over the head with your words is cruelty. Misplaced kindness is cruelty. If you don't believe me, look at someone who's got worthless kids. My kids are my best friends. We don't, no discipline, no tough conversations, and their kids grow up to be adults that can't function. That's cruel to do that to a child. I mean, if I'm gone tomorrow, my hope is that I've put enough leadership stuff in Chan that he goes on to lead at a high level without me. Same with Tinsley. Does that make sense? Misplaced kindness is a cruelty, the same as beating people over the head and taking advantage of people is cruelty. Strength in the middle. Guys, let's continue to build trust. Let's continue to keep trust. I'm telling you, it creates crazy, crazy things in your life. Holly and I love you. We cannot wait to see you at family reunion. If you don't have a ticket, get a ticket. Please come join us. All right. Love y'all. Hammer down.